Hello everybody and welcome to the Brooklyn Crokinole Club. Ryan the Kaz here, bringing you main event round robin action between Brian and Jim of the Connecticut Crokinole Club against Marshall and Tommy of the Brooklyn Crokinole Club. As we deal for the middle, Jim and Brian playing with the blue disc, Marshall and Tommy playing with the red disc, and Marshall going first, hitting his 20, and Jim responding in kind. As we get underway, 4 rounds of action we're going to see here. Tommy first to miss, and Brian able to get the hanger 20 out of that, and Marshall able to get another 20. Tying it up. Tommy with a nice takeout there. And Ruck getting the takeout there, leaving his disc on the far side of the board. Not much of a 20 chance here for Marshall. Ooh, almost gets it, though. Almost gets the bounce back 20. There's Marshall. Jim able to contend here with this. Let's see if he gets a 20 out of it. Looks like it's doable. Just does get the takeout, maybe leaving an opportunity here for Tommy to jump ahead in the 20 count. And he does. He made just barely enough contact. Any contact is what he did. Oh, and Brian does the thing. But potentially Marshall has a double takeout chance here, and he gets it! Nice shot from Marshall. Jim leaving his disc out to the side, and Tommy clears the board. Not exactly what he wanted to do there, as Brian will have the hammer for this first round as they go up, but Marshall gets his 20 to go as well. And now Marshall and Tommy are up by 1 in the 20 count. And Tommy just makes contact but loses the shooter, and Brian capitalizes, tying the 20 count up again. And Marshall makes it so. Good shot by Marshall. Go up in the 20s. As we come down to the last couple of shots here, a 20 will do that for them, and he goes up by 2. And that will be the first round. Marshall and Tommy taking the first of 4 rounds, as Jim starts us off with the second round. Going a little bit wide to the left, but staying in the house, getting pegged up against the, well, peg, obviously. Take out there from Tommy, and a response from Brian. So he takes it out as well. Marshall now going from the outside, seeing what he can do here. Trying to leave a difficult shot here for Jim. And he would have if he stayed on the board. But instead leaves an open shot there for Jim, who just comes up a little bit short. Tommy with a nice takeout, leaving his disc in a precarious place. Not so much of a 20 a chance here for Brian. Just take out and stick, and he does just that. And just trading places here, pulling a little bit closer to the 20 hole. And now Jim may have a chance here at a touch 20, but does not collect on it. Rolls to the outside. And Tommy plays it even further to the outside into the 5 circle. Now Brian has a chance here, maybe? Can't really tell from that angle. A little bit of coaching going on. That's always okay. And he loses the shooter, but does get the takeout. And now is Marshall's chance to capitalize on the open 20s chance. Just get a little bit of it in and out there. Maybe a follow-through 20 chance for Jim. A little bit of discussion going on between Brian and Jim. See what goes on here. It looks for the middle. Rolls to the outside. Not happy with that shot. Clean takeout there from Tommy. And now 3 discs on the board for Marshall and Tommy in this second round. Long follow-through looks like Brian was going for. Does not make it. Nice roll in there from Marshall. maybe not the wisest move. Staying to the outside when you have the hammer is probably the best advice. However, with 3 discs on the board, probably not exactly a monumental mistake here. As Jim makes the takeout through a few pegs, got it to bounce out, leaves a chance here for Tommy. Ooh, makes contact, but leaves a chance here for Brian to get the first 20 of this round, but he misses. Gets the takeout, but unfortunately unable to collect on this. And if I were Marshall, I wouldn't play for the inside, I would play to the outside, but he looks like he's shooting for that one in the house, and he loses the shooter in the process instead of making progress and staying on the board. Difficult shots here for Jim as they're trying to climb back as far as board possession comes into play as we're getting to the last couple of shots. Makes that nice hit and stick in the 5. Tommy now does have a chance here possibly for a takeout 20. Looking like he's going to try to go through Hogan's alley for that follow through. And unable to collect the 20 and unable to get the off. So as it stands now, it looks like we're tied in the circle coming down to the last 2 shots. And just a touch there from Brian. So we got 2 each in the 15, 2 each in the 10. So Brian and Jim are actually up by 10 points with their 2 discs in the 5. Marshall with the last shot of this second round. Bit of coaching happening here. Just needs to make a net gain. Taking out that 10, staying in the 10 would be enough to tie it. If he manages to get that 10 off and roll into the 15, they would win it. Or just make the 10 and stay in the 10 would win it as well. Math is not my strong suit. Anyone who has paid any kind of attention to this channel before knows that, for a fact, math is not good for me. So Marshall and Tommy go up now 4 points, none heading into the third round. No 20s were scored in that second round, which is kind of surprising because both Jim and Brian and Marshall and Tommy are actually very good open 20 shooters. We just happened to have a round where they played more positionally than anything else, and it looks like that trend is going to continue here as Marshall tripped over the hole, and now Tommy has to contend with 2 blue discs on the board. And now very crowded around the 20 hole. Brian does have to make contact with it. Not sure if he's going to be able to get a 20 out of it, but if he manages to hit Tommy's disc and not his own, got some separation there. Didn't get the off, but good board placement as Marshall rolls and hides behind a peg. There, Jim wise enough to go for the disc that was more exposed, and now 3 discs on the board for Jim and Brian. Marshall and Tommy just the lone disc that is hidden. Tommy left with a pretty difficult shot, not really much of a chance for 20 because 2 blue discs are blocking the opportunity from him. However, possible double chance here almost gives a 20 to Jim and Brian in the process. No takeouts there, but good separation for Tommy and Marshall. At least there's that. A little bit of a kiss from Brian, and now 4-2 discs on the board. Looks like 3 are in the 10, 1 in the 5, and 1 in the 15, and a double takeout there from Marshall. Nice play there, but leaves a hanger for Jim, and he just cancels out 2 discs. So now it's 2 discs in the 10 for Marshall and Tommy, and 2 discs in the 5 for Jim and Brian, but Tommy does take one of them out. So now Tommy and Marshall have board presence. So we're about halfway through this third round. Nice takeout there from Marshall. Gets a nice little roll in, and now on the board, Marshall and Tommy have the lead. However, Jim will have the hammer for this third round. Jim looking like he was going to try to go for a double takeout, but a peg got in the way. He lost the shooter instead. And a difficult shot here for Tommy. Has to go through a couple of discs and pegs all up in the way, but makes a nice clean takeout there. And now Marshall and Tommy are dominating, and Brian just makes it even more dominating as he gives a 20 away. So an open chance here now for Marshall. Just comes up a little bit short from basically putting the nail in this third round. When Jim just loses the shooter, makes the takeout, but an open chance here. It's really a self-assist, it kind of looks like. There's a bit of a hanger there, and Tommy does collect lots of separation here on the board with the last couple of shots coming. Not so much anything that Brian and Jim can do to recover from this. Plenty of separation between the red discs, and not enough shots to overcome the 20 deficit. Jim does make a chance, does make a double takeout. Valiant effort, but Marshall and Tommy will go up 6-0 heading into the final round of this round-robin match. Brian getting us started with an open 20. Marshall responding in kind. And can Tommy make us go around the world for the first time in this match? Nope. Super Steves it. And Brian did the thing again. Can't do that, Brian. You reach for it, it's not going in. Marshall with a takeout there. Spun out of the circle. 2-1 in the 20 count. Already in this fourth and final round. But Tommy leaves a disc vulnerable for a hide. Brian doesn't exactly capitalize. That looks pretty exposed, and Marshall looking at his angle, shooting through the house. Does make the takeout, but he does peel and gives Jim an opportunity to tie up the 20 count with the open, and he just trips over the hole, leaving it to Tommy. Catches a peg on the way in. So now we have an open chance here for Brian. Didn't do the thing, still missed. So maybe it's not the thing, maybe it's just Brian. I'm just kidding, Brian. You know I love you. Marshall leaves a hanger here for Jim, and whoa! Almost completely disastrous. Hit his own disc before it hit the opposing piece. Did manage to knock Marshall and Tommy's red disc out into the 5, leaving 2 discs in the center, which is enough to tie it. Oh, and Tommy just loses the shooter again, but does wind up demoting both of those blue discs. And now a bit of a cluster over there in the 10. Triple takeout incoming. Nope, just one. Brian and Jim wisely trying to stay to the outside here, forcing action to the inside, and Tommy does manage to get a nice roll in on that takeout. Final 4 shots, Tommy will have the hammer here, as Brian does manage to get a takeout. Plenty of outside play. Marshall needing to get the 20, almost hits it. Just a little bit too far to the left. And Jim puts the nail in the coffin there. They will salvage 2 points in this fourth and final round-robin round match. And 6-2 will be the final. A well-shot game between Connecticut and Brooklyn just yet again. Kudos to Jim and Brian for coming all the way down to meet us here as we look at some of the highlights, a couple of open 20s from both sides. Nice double take out there from Marshall. Looks like Jim is earning the MVP for this match with those highlight shots. That slick, nice touch from Tommy. So nice he did it twice. And we thank you all so much for watching this. We hope that you enjoyed it. And if you'd like to join us next time, please follow the links in the description below. Be notified of when we'll be meeting next. We hope to see you there and teach you this wonderful game. And again, thank you, and we'll see you there.